Hello, and thank you for joining us for this presentation. In this presentation, we're going to be doing Excel comparisons. In other words, comparing different versions of a spreadsheet with the objective to simplify this analysis, comparing the two spreadsheets, as well as maximizing the productivity. Finish that analysis and move on. Now, probably the most important question you have right now is, why should you watch this video? Well, here's a couple of questions to get you to that answer. 1. Do you work with spreadsheets, both basic and complex spreadsheets? Would it be valuable to have the ability to create versions of those spreadsheets? Are there times when you need to compare or review differences between spreadsheet versions? In other words, what's changed from one to the next? Do your spreadsheets go through a review or approval process? Is security important? Who can see what files? If you answered yes to these questions, then it probably makes sense to take a look at this video. So let's get started. Here we are in Excel 2013. I'm going to go to File and, of course, Open from Alfresco because that's where our spreadsheets are stored. Up pops this little plugin. This plugin allows you to get to your Alfresco repository from within your Office products. Here I'm going to search for in the MSI IPO folder, and I'll hit Enter. And as a quick search, and it brings me right to that folder. And here's my folder, MSI IPO. I will click on that, and below that will be these two folders, and of course all these folders are what are stored in Alfresco right now. So I click on the deal folder, and I happen to have the models folder, or I should say the models folder is where I have the documents we'll be using for comparison. Here it is right here. I'll select that file, and when I select that file, I'll see any metadata around that file here, any comments that might be there. Key thing is previous versions, and again, there's a whole other video that talks about all the capabilities of the Alfresco Office Integration plugin. Today we're going to focus on just the previous versions, or I should say the version comparison capabilities. So here's my model. I'm going to click Previous Versions. Up pops a version tree. And you'll see in this version tree, I've got the last three that were versioned by myself, Adam Storch. The first two were done by Jason Jolly. Now, what I want to do is I want to compare what changed between the last one I did, 1.4, and the last one Jason did, which was 1.1. Now, you'll see compare right here is grayed out. The moment I select that second version to do the comparison, I click the compare button. By clicking the compare button, we'd fire up Change Pro for Excel, the Litera product. And what will happen is it'll take those two versions that I selected, stream them to Litera, obviously automatically, and do a comparison to show you what's changed between the two. See here, it does the comparing. And here we have basically the red line. In other words, they took the original document and the modified spreadsheet, okay, and created this red line spreadsheet, which of course the difference is between the two. As you can see, the original and the modified. Now what's really great is on the left hand side here are all the things that have changed. You can see a lot changed with these two. The neatest feature right here is type. So when I click on this type, it sorts based on the types of changes done. You'll notice this particular one, if I click on this cell, F and value change means there's a formula and value change. So when I click on it, and it takes me right to this particular cell, see that 174, and here it says 156. If I look at the red line copy, it tells you exactly what has changed, and that's the critical piece. So you know what's changed inside each one of the appropriate formulas, okay? Another quick piece I want to show you. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. See where it says value right here? This means the value of that cell has changed, okay? You've got 6 and 7. So if I look at the original, it's at 6. If I look at the modified, it's at 7. So in this particular instance, we have a value change. Now, like I said, there is a great video by the guys at Litera that can dive deep within the functionality to really tell you all the cool things you can do. Or you're welcome to reach out to MicroStrategies or Litera to get a deeper demo, a live demo, if you will, to see all the different features you can take advantage of. Now from here, of course, as you'd imagine, you can go off and accept changes, reject changes, the things you'd expect to do, take that copy, put that back into Alfresco as perhaps the latest version, or you could put the red line copy back in. All depends on how you want to work. But the key thing we want to show you here is the ability from within your Office product be able to take advantage of both document management solution as well as a comparison tool. Because when you're working with spreadsheets, the more complex they get, the more you have to worry about what's changed between. And the idea here is you've got the version capability with Alfresco, and you've got the change control piece in terms of version comparisons with Litera. Now, what did we see or learn? Well, we saw how easy it was to create versions of a spreadsheet, how to compare spreadsheet versions to quickly identify and address any issues between those versions, how to simplify the review and approval process, basically how to be more productive. So I've got a link here to a pretty good video by our friends at Litera. And Change Pro for Excel is the key product we used to show that particular comparison. We hope you enjoyed the presentation, and please feel free to reach out to us to see how we can help you like we help our other clients. Thank you.